If you thought that all the problems are gone, now comes the biggest bomb. The biggest bomb. We have a disaster happening in our communities as we speak. There's a community in Boca Raton, Florida. They have a rabbi is in charge of this community. I actually spoke in that shul. I don't remember if it was 6 years ago or 7, something like that, a few years ago. I spoke in that shul. It was very successful. There was a lot of people. It's online. You can watch that lecture. I spoke about desires and things that happens in our life. Very popular lecture online. There's a rabbi there, modern Orthodox. There's 2 rabbis in that community. The main one, his name is Ephraim Goldberg. That's the chief rabbi of that community. He has second rabbi over there. His name is Philip Moskowitz. They are the ones who run the show. Supposedly in the entire area, I don't know how many families belong to that shul. I think the shul can fit, if I remember correctly, about 200 to 300 people, more or less. Don't catch me on a number. And it's a modern Orthodox. The word modern Orthodox, can be defined in different ways, because some modern Orthodox is really Orthodox, some of them is more conservative and reform. So it really depends. And there is one rabbi in Florida that brought it to my attention. I don't really know what's happening in a community there until I heard 2 days ago. It came to my attention that this Rabbi Goldberg is inviting a Christian missionary that teach the missionaries how to hunt Jewish souls into Christianity. You know what the Christian missionaries do all over the world? They invest billions of dollars. They send missionaries, and their main goal is to take Jews and turn them into Christians. That's the main goal. If they hunt one Jew, it's a big party for them. This motivational speaker, his name is Matthew Kelly. He's famous on YouTube, I believe. He gives seminars, he has books, he speaks to all kinds of corporations, whatever. And he's a believer in JC. He's an idol worshipper. Let's not forget that. And the rabbi that called himself a rabbi, I don't understand how can it be such a chutzpah to call himself a rabbi, and an Orthodox, nevertheless, okay, he invites the head of the missionaries into his community to speak to the audience, to motivate them to succeed in life, the purpose of life. Somehow there's not enough Jewish speakers. The best speakers in the world are Jewish speakers. All kinds of Orthodox, Litvish, Hasidic, Faradi, all kinds of different speakers all over the world, speaks beautiful English. He could not find one that can motivate the community and give them some speech as they want. Very interesting. He had to go and find a Christian, an enemy of the Jewish nation. I'm talking spiritually, not physically. Spiritually, it's a spiritual war between the idol worshippers, the missionaries that hunt thousands of Jews in Israel every year, and here in New York, and right here, a few blocks away from here, they have a center. Over there, sorry. Right? What?
Every Saturday.
Every Saturday right here. O&P. O&P. I was right. It's right there.
On Brighton Beach.
On Brighton Beach. Okay, here and there. Half a mile to my left, half a mile to my right, hunting Jews on a daily basis, and they do it in Florida, and that's their goal. The last thing he cares is to come to speak to a bunch of Jews in a synagogue. 100 or 200 people, I promise you. There's only one agenda behind it. After that, they become in touch with me. I give my business cards, I put CDs, books, they begin to buy, they order online, they write emails, then they invite me to speak in another place, and slowly, I achieve my mission to destroy more and more Jewish souls. The absurd is that guess who this Rabbi Ephraim Goldberg is? Do you remember the letter against me a few months ago? Few rabbis wrote that no one should invite me to speak. They disagree with my kiruv style. I'm too strict. I'm a danger to the Jewish people. A danger. You understand? Someone who perhaps make more Baalei Tshuva in the history of the Jewish nation all of a sudden became a danger to the Jewish nation. After 23 years of such success, beyond any doubt, we don't recommend that you should invite him. But the Pope, the priest, the head of the Satan, invite him as a guest of honor in his synagogue. Not that he writes in a letter that he supports him. Come be my guest in my own synagogue next to the Holy Sefer Torah. An idol worshipper, I don't have to tell you what the punishment of an idol worshipper in the Torah, whether he's a Jew or a non-Jew. What's the punishment? Execution. Doesn't have the right to live. If there was Bet Mikdash today, Sanhedrin, all the idol worshippers in the land of Israel would be all executed. Now one of them would be left. Not one. You should know someone who persuade other Jews to come and follow any idol worshipping religion or an idol. You execute him in Sanhedrin immediately without warning. If you catch someone who breaks the Sabbath, you cannot execute him. You have to give him a warning. What you did is against the rules. If we catch you one more time doing it, you're facing execution by stoning. If you caught him first time breaking Shabbat on purpose, you cannot touch him. Just give him a warning. But if you catch a Jew, say to another Jew, come to a lecture of this Matthew Kelly. He's a motivational speaker. Come to his lecture. Immediately, if two witnesses heard it, they bring you to Sanhedrin. Sanhedrin execute you on a spot with no warning. Immediately. That's the only sin in Judaism that you don't need to give a warning when it's a death penalty. All other death penalty you have to give atra'ah. Over here, without atra'ah. It's one of the 613 commandments. Mediach la'avodah zarah. Unbelievable. That's how much Hashem hates it. Now wait a minute, wait. When they asked him, when Rabbi Reuven wrote to him few emails before it came public, he wrote to him few emails. He sent me those emails. I read them. He begged him to cancel the event before it goes public, to prevent the big Chilul Hashem and the massive danger to a potential 1,000 families in the area of Boca Raton. He answered to him, this motivational speaker is not coming to speak about religion. He knows not to speak about religion. He will speak about what? About motivating people in life. So he answered to him with a very smart answer. Nobody really cares what he's going to speak in a lecture. Obviously, he's not going to stand in front of you and tell people, come follow me to JC, to the church. You know, he's not that dumb. What he's going to do is just make connection with all the doctors and lawyers and people there, the professionals of Boca Raton, people, and you know, then he's going to speak in this guy's house and this slowly into the community, and Hashem Yirachem how many victims he's going to hunt over there. That's what he told him. Once or twice he answered him back. Then in the end he told him the decision is made, the event will take place. They started to go to big rabbis in Israel. Every Dayan in Israel, Rav Gidon ben Moshe is one of the most important judges in Israel, in Yerushalayim, student of Rav Ovadia and Rav Ben Zion Abba Shaul. He almost fainted when he heard such thing. He went to the chief rabbi of Israel, Rav Yitzchak Yosef, cannot believe something like this happened. Every rabbi I spoke to, nobody believes something like this. It cannot be, it has to be a scam. An Orthodox rabbi will bring a Christian person to speak in a shul? What? Are you crazy there in America? What's happening by you over there? Here, someone like this would not be able to come out of his home anymore for the rest of his life, just for thinking to do such a crime, to bring an idol worshiper into the synagogue to speak to the Jewish community. Just for thinking about it, it would be the end of not his career, the end of his life. He wouldn't be able to show his face. No one will ever marry his children after that. No one will say hello to him in the street. You bring a missionary to speak in a synagogue in Bnei Brak, in Yerushalayim? And you're calling yourself a rabbi? The biggest criminal on earth. To sign against me, he ran to sign, together with the other wicked guy, Dweck, from London. Remember the other criminal, Dweck? בא העורב אצל הזרזיר, together with Philip, another holy Jewish name, Philip. Together, all of them cook a beautiful event for J.C. Penney and her friends. This is what's happening here. Today, he came up with a new trick. Unbelievable. If he wouldn't be said, it would be actually funny. Today, he answered on his page, someone sent it to me, that I am the one behind that. It took me over 24 hours to find out about it while it was going on. But besides, I wish I had the merit to be the one who started, to be zealous to Hashem. I wish. But someone else had the merit to discover it and to start it. It wasn't me. But I wish it was me. But listen to what he wrote. Hold tight to your chair. He said, Rabbi Mizrachi, a few years ago, debated a Christian professor in the synagogue. What's the difference between what he did to what I'm doing, bringing a Christian guy into my synagogue? Did you ever hear such a stupid person in your life? I go against the head of the missionaries, a professor who teach Christianity for 30 years in Manhattan, teach all the priests how to destroy more people in the world. I go and target him to destroy him once for all, to show the whole world that their religion is full of lies and fake religion, to save thousands of Jews that fell into their hands, once for all to destroy him, like many, many holy rabbis in the past did, Ramban, many other ones, Rav Yehuda Halevi, and many famous ones did in the past. So I go to fight against him, to destroy their fake ideology and religion, and he is going to help them and promote them and bring them that they will be more successful in their destruction, and he compared between him and me. Do you understand that? It's a little bit similar to the United Nations saying the Holy Temple did not belong to the Jews. It was always Palestinian when there was no Palestinian nation until 1967. It's a little bit similar. Similar comparison. Both of them are absurd. So now I want to say something to the community of Boca Raton. I know many of them will not care what I say. I know they'll get angry. I know they get upset. I took this to consideration. My job is not to find favor in their eyes or in anyone's eyes. My job, if I speak, I must speak the truth. It's a huge crime to attach yourself to someone. You can call himself Rabbi, Dayan, Chief of Community. It's worthless, all these titles. Someone that dare to bring an idol worshiper that is well known over the internet, that's his agenda, he's not hiding it. He's bragging about him bringing people into Christianity and following JC. Bringing someone into the holy synagogue in front of the Sifrei Torah, in front of the Shomrei Shabbat community, and make the biggest Chilul Hashem since Korach ve'adato. I don't remember something like this ever happened. Not allowed to stand next to him, not allowed to say hello to him, not allowed to do business with him, not allowed to pray with him in the same minyan. And if they have a little brain, they must fire him yesterday, not tomorrow. If they want Hashem to have mercy on them in the judgment day, to fire him yesterday, and his assistant, Philip, both of them, to throw them directly to the garbage can, directly, not in between, no mercy whatsoever. That's really what they deserve, these people. If you have mercy on these wicked criminals, you are an enemy of Hashem. No wonder, I was wondering to myself, who would sign such a letter? It has to be a real criminal. Without speaking to me a word, without knowing all the thousands of names that we get every year, that people that become Shomrei Shabbat, to come and to try to destroy it, has to be someone that Hashem really hates. It cannot be someone that is righteous in the eyes of Hashem that will fall into something like this to sign. It cannot be. Slowly, slowly, I'm beginning to discover. Yes, maybe some of the people who signed there were fooled. They didn't know. Somebody fooled them. I heard there's one very old rabbi over there. He's 90-something years old. He's totally paralyzed. One of his students told me, how could he sign if he cannot move his both hands? I said, okay, sometimes people sign for the rabbis. It's a big deal. They take the stamp and sign. The driver or the whatever. Or the grandson. It's no problem. Politics you have everywhere. But this guy definitely signed. He's not denying it. He's bragging about it. Everything is midah keneged midah. You go against someone that gave his life to save souls for so many years, I will be machshil you with the idol worshipper inside your synagogue that will show the whole world your real face. This is it. I am tired of speaking with hints. No more hints. From now on, names. Names, details, I don't care. It goes on radio, it goes on a website, it goes everywhere. Because in the past, I used to speak about these wicked people without saying their names. It wasn't effective. Now when I spoke against this Rasha Dweck that is hiding in London after he was kicked from here, this liberal reform one, many people from London sent me, thank you for saving me from this Rasha. I didn't know. I thought he's a nice guy. I will never come near this guy anymore after I heard. People get the point. The righteous people know after they hear to run away from these criminals. People that are fakers and they want these people to be the rabbis, be my guest, it's your problem, not mine. I fulfilled my obligation. I was protesting publicly in front of Hashem, in front of the whole world, in front of the camera. Everybody, no one can deny it. I say that. If you participate in that event, very likely you're going to lose your olam haba. Think about it. It's no joke to be an idol worshipper or to go to listen to someone like this. There's not one kosher rabbi in the world that will endorse such an event. Go to Rav Chaim Kanievsky, go to Rav Steinman, go to the chief rabbis of Israel, go to any one of the big rabbis, Rav Shmuel Kaminetsky, Gdol Ador in America. Rav is the son of Rav Yaakov Kaminetsky. His father was the Gdol Ador also. Today someone wrote that he went to him to speak to him and said, it must be stopped. It's the biggest Chilul Hashem. Every big rabbi. I went yesterday to Rav Eliyahu Ben Chaim, the Av Bedin in Queens. They couldn't believe it. There were a few rabbis sitting over there. Nobody understands how can something like this happen by someone who called himself an Orthodox rabbi. This is the tragedy we live in. Clowns, wicked clowns became the leaders of some of our communities. Clowns are better than him. Somebody asked me, who's worse, him or a Reform rabbi? What do you think? Him is much worse. I tell you why it's worse. Reform nobody expects from. Reform marry men with men in a synagogue. Normal people expect something from someone like that. They call him a real rabbi. Reform drives with a car to the synagogue. Reform married to the Goya. Reform eat pork on Yom Kippur. He's not hiding it. Reform can stand in a congregation and say that he doesn't believe there was the exodus of Egypt. That's what the Reform rabbi speaks. Call themselves rabbis, what a joke. But someone like that comes with his cute beard, you know, and comes with a Gemara like this and pretending he's a big Talmid Chacham with a rotten ideology like this, can knock down thousands of innocent people into the garbage with him. Just like Korach ve'adato, 100%. We're speaking religion here, it's not politics. I'm not competing with him to become the rabbi of Boca Raton, in case you're wondering. That's not the issue here. The issue here, someone is about to commit a huge crime and a big Chilul Hashem. Everyone who is fearing God must be outrageous, scream, write letters, demonstrate, and if he won't cancel the event, 1,000 people should come and ruin the event over there. Demonstrate over there with signs, shame on you, walking inside, making a big mess that he will be embarrassed ever to repeat such a crime ever again. What does he think? The community belongs to him just because he's a rabbi over there? Everyone is a Jewish soul. Who gives you permission to play with their future, with their eternity? Who gives you permission? Your job is to teach Torah and to give them the right advice, showing them that you're bringing an idol worshipper, the head of them, the head, into your synagogue, meaning Christianity is fine for you. No problem bringing a goy with an ideology that is against the Torah to speak to your community and become friendly with them. No problem. This is what we're living in. This is it. You know, sometimes they catch rabbis of doing something wrong. One fell with money, one with women, one with corruption, whatever, different kinds of sins. Of course, someone that is a leader of a community and is teaching Torah should be more careful, extra careful than ordinary religious Jews. If a Jew has to be very careful not to make sins, a rabbi has to be 10 times or 100 times more careful. Why? Because it's big chilul Hashem. Many times my friend here from Moscow, many times he said, how do you want me to be religious when this rabbi did such and such? You know what's the reason why many people do not become religious? The rabbis. That's what he said. Right or wrong? You said it at least 100 times to me?
Maybe more.
Maybe more. Okay. So, I can tell you one thing. Of course, I don't justify it, and of course it's wrong, and of course it's against the Torah, and of course it's chilul Hashem, and of course, whatever you say, you are right. But the sins that they do is desire, meaning a person has desire, and he ate something that is not kosher. He's not doing it because he hates Hashem. He's not doing it from ideological reasons. Some people have bad ideology. They are anti-Hashem, anti-Torah, anti-Gemara, anti-Halacha. So if they have glad kosher and non-kosher, glad kosher right here, they will definitely eat the non-kosher. That's not a sin that comes from desires, no. That's an ideological sin. My ideology is I don't believe in God. Or if I believe in God, I don't believe in the rules that the rabbi wrote in the Gemara or later in the Shulchan Aruch. I rebel against it. That's called an ideological crime. Which crimes are worse? That a person in the heat of the moment has a desire, which is normal. We all have desires, physical desires, all of us, with no exception. So if a person has a local desire and he went after the money or after a woman or after forbidden food or after getting some honor or fighting with someone for a job, he wants to get the kavod. All these sins comes from desire. It could be a momentarily failure and then later on they regret it and they stop. They don't do it again. And taiva, we call it ta'avot. And even if they do it again, and again they regret it. It's a moment that a person has a weakness and he failed. And again, I don't justify it. Even that, it sins and there are punishments and everything. But they are nothing compared to the sins that come from a rotten, wicked ideology. And bringing a missionary, Christian, that hunt Jewish souls after 2,000 years of inquisitions and pogrom and Holocaust, and who knows what, how much they torture us in the name of this fake Christianity religion. How many millions of Jews, rivers of blood on the streets everywhere. All over Spain, Portugal, United States, Russia, Israel, everywhere. Bringing him into the synagogue as a guest of honor, I don't find another despicable big crime worse than that. I just cannot find. And if this is who you want to be the leader of your community, what does it say about your community? I hope there are a few people over there that have Yirat Shamayim that will gather together and will tell him you must resign. Go and hide for 30 years by the Western world, fast, wear a sack, every day read Tehillim. Maybe Hashem will forgive you. Remember, now even if he will forget, if will cancel the event, the Chilul Hashem he made is already irreversible. There's no way to fix it. But at least the crime that is about to happen and continue later on, maybe that will be prevented. Let's move on. I'm sorry that I have to talk about things like this, but this is going all over. I know that nobody here cares about following Mr. Kelly and his idol. I understand that. And I know that also many of the listeners also won't care. But there are many people that do not know. And I don't see what's wrong with that. I saw in the comments that they sent me today. Some people naively. What is the problem if he is not going to talk about religion? What's the problem? They don't understand that according to the halakha, you're not allowed to stand next to an idol worshipper. They're lucky there's no Sanhedrin. If there would be Sanhedrin, they would not leave by tomorrow morning.
If he would be giving this speech not in a synagogue.
Also not allowed.
Not allowed.
Not allowed. But you promote a missionary?
No.
If
I
the...
apologize. You're right. I'm sorry. Maybe I have to rephrase my question. If he would be giving a lecture somewhere else and not rabbi would promote that lecture, another, and say, Jews come...
Jews are not allowed to go.
Not allowed.
Not allowed to go. Everyone who's known as an idol worshipper, especially when he declares himself as someone who hunts Jewish souls and other souls, also other ones, not only Jews. They're after everyone that they can convert to Christianity. Then they're not allowed to go to their speeches.
That's what I said there in my comments, if you read it. That's what I said.
100%. Every Talmid Yeshiva, 1 month in Yeshiva already know it. He doesn't know it.
That is what I commented.
It has to be either money behind it, or I don't really know what's in his mind. It's definitely not a pure cause.